Well, hello, it's the Imperfect Gardener here, and I am planting seeds today. It is springtime in Michigan. I have already started a row over here. All I do is use my hoe to make a little line down my row that I've got these little raised beds, and then I start putting the seeds in, and I'm going to come back and cover it all up. The way that I do my beds, depending on what the vegetable is, some of them you can do two rows of it in the one raised bed or the raised rows. See, let me show you. These rows are raised up just from the actual garden level. They're raised up. Okay, I call that raised bed, but it's not one of those, kind they have on YouTube with the wood all around it, okay? But here it is, it's raised up. Well, in this, if it's a big plant, you're only going to have one in a row, like tomatoes, kale, things like that. If it is a small thing like radishes or carrots, I will plant two separate rows of carrots going all the way down in this one big raised row, okay? So I'm going to try something new since I'm starting the spring stuff and some of it grows quick and then is gone. I thought, why don't I try a few different things. One is that over with the lettuce, I heard that rabbits and stuff don't like onions so much. So I'm planting I'd have a little broccoli here, but then I'm planting onions, which I can get two in a row here. And then I'm doing lettuce, and then I'm doing onions, and then I'm doing lettuce, and see if the onions will help discourage the rabbits from coming in, as well as the dried blood that I spread around to keep the rabbits out of the garden. And then right here I'm trying a little experiment. So this is my first year, first year trying kale. And I'm also putting radishes in. Well, the radishes will be done in a month. You'll have radishes in a month, and they like it cool. And so then I can plant more later in the fall or something. But the kale, it looks like it likes it cool too, but it gets really big, and it seems like it can go on for longer. It's my first year doing it, so I'm still learning about it. But I decided what I'm going to do is I've got kale, Swiss chard, and some lettuce like that over here. Spinach. I'm going to put the kale right along here, sprinkle it in. But then I'm going to do a little experiment in one section. I don't want to just experiment with everything because it might not work. So in one little section here, I'm going to put kale in the middle, put a little kale here, 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 and put the radishes here and here, hoping that the kale is going to start to grow. The radishes will still be able to grow up wonderful here. By the time the kale gets to be too big and it's overpowering the radishes, they'll already be done, and I can pull them out. Now, that's me guessing because I haven't done kale before. So we will see how that works. But I thought, hey, let's give it a shot. Rather than plant the radishes, pick them, and plant something else in here, what about we do a little experiment to see if the radishes will just grow right around the kale, and then I'll have some lovely radishes, and then I'll have some kale that will get bigger after I pull the radishes out, and it'll be great. I'm going to try the same thing with Swiss chard. I'm going to plant some Swiss chard right along here by itself, but then I'm going to try a little section where I put the radishes around the Swiss chard and see how that does. Okay, so when I plant it, all I do is, like I said, I take my hoe, make my little lines, whether it's two or one in a row, and then I come along with my seeds. A little tip about your seed packets. I always hate coming out here and trying to get my seeds open. I have a little basket right here. Dun, da, da, dum. And in my basket, I just made you dizzy. It's actually a little pot. But I put everything I'm going to plant in each row. So I have 3 rows I'm doing today. I had those 3 together with a little slip of paper in between, so I know it's the end of that row. And then as I plant them, you can see these ones are turned around backwards. That's because I already planted that row. Now I'm going to put in my kale, my radishes, my Swiss chard, radishes with that, and behind it is some spinach, some radishes, and some lettuce. And then there's another little white paper back here that tells me, I'm up to the next row that I want to do. I'll start the next row. So that just helps me keep organized. But I also have started opening up my packages before I come out to the garden, because I always hated standing out here trying to rip the packages open. I just open them up and have them sitting in here, and it's all ready for me to pop open, put my seeds in. Now, whether I can do that with this in my hand is another question, because I'm holding a camera. You can see my shadow. Okay, let me try and get some of these out. Oh, there's bugs. Isn't that fun? I like bugs. So here's the kale. Never seen kale before, but we're going to try it anyway this year. Here's my little kale seeds. I just dumped some in my hand. And, you know, they tell you how many put for every inch or whatever. For right now, I just drop them in here. So I just go bloop, 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 bloop. Drop a bunch of them in because I can thin them out later. And since I've never done them before, I don't know how well they come up. So that's what I do. Uh-oh, now you're getting a picture of nothing again. So I'm going to keep dropping these in. In I go, right along here. Just throw a bunch in. Am I wasting seeds? I don't know. And then when I'm done, I just come along with my hoe and I push the dirt this way and that way and cover this up. And I'll have 3 rows planted today by the time I'm done. So have fun gardening. And yeah, that's it.